Welcome again for another video today. I'm excited to have you. Thank you for joining, and I appreciate if you share this video. So today we'll continue with our series of videos, and I want to focus today on the higher education module. But before I get to it, I'll take a quick overview of the system again. If you want to follow, you can go to solafideonline.com or you go to app.solafide.online and you'll be able to create your account there for free. The good thing is that you can access this system for free. And if you join, you can create multiple entities like what I have here. So this one, we'll use this one for demonstration about limited. And this starts with a dashboard. So it's just a new entity I've just created. We'll just have to go through so we see it from scratch. So at the sidebar, we have our quick action. Now, the essence of the quick action is to help you to be able to, if you start a business, that's where you come first. Maybe you want to issue an invoice, you want to do some estimates, some billings, some purchase order, maybe add some customers and suppliers, or add your products and services, most importantly. Yes, you normally have to add your products and services. So this is where you go to have that done. So next to it, we have our invoicing and sales and invoicing. This handles almost everything about sales. Yes, everything about sales. You can issue your invoices here. You can generate your quotations or estimate. Somebody asks for a pro forma. You come to Solafide estimate, you'll be able to get it. And so with just a click, it's a simple process, not complicated. One of the objectives when we're designing this system is to make a system that is user-friendly. We're focusing on user-friendly and that you don't need a lot of training. With basic directives, you should be able to use it. So we have receipts. Once you do your invoices or you're receiving payment, your receipts are auto-generated cash receipt you want to share. We have credit notes in case there is you are selling products and this kind of return, you have to handle it. Recurring invoices. Recurring invoices, when there are invoices that are recurring, you don't want to always come to generate. The system can generate for you, given the period you have allowed. We have batch invoices. If there is invoices you want to treat in bulk, for instance, multi-approve, multi-review, and things like that, you can do it here. Payment plans, yes. Take for instance, you have laid out that this transaction will be paid in periods of 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and so the system reviews. And if you give it that it should be paid for 4 months, they will go into the system and click when you expect the next payment, the next payment, the next payment, and there are even reminders for you to validate or to check if that payment has not been done. Customers and suppliers. This way you register your customers and suppliers. You can just click on a customer, you add a customer. It's a very simple form and it's self-explanatory. If I come here, you see that I can just register my customer. I register the customer name, the customer information, and you'll be able to have it there. Then we have CRM. Yes, I want to take some time to talk about the CRM, which stands for Customer Relationship Management. I think this is one of the most important features in this system. And I see I'm working in stations, and most of them, they like the feature. Why? Because it helps them to track what is happening with respect to their marketing and their customers. If you're an institution that give a lot of importance to your customers, you want to use this feature. And within this feature, we have prospects. Prospects are potential clients. They're not your clients, they're potential clients. And so you need to follow up, you need to issue proposals, you need to ensure to see that you assign them to the right persons to handle. Now, take for instance, somebody comes in, I'm working, and so somebody comes that the person is interested. So I go to at, immediately go to at, and under the at, whether it's a student that comes in to seek information about the institution, it's a client who is looking for Solafide subscription, it's somebody who is coming to seek out information about your business, whatever information they want to seek out. I think that this module is very, very important for you to show, for you to keep track of that information. So let's say I come today and I have a client who I will call Mr. Aboto. Yes, Mr. Aboto. And I have the email of Mr. Aboto to be aboto at gmail.com. And he has a phone number. We'll just give you any number. The date the person visited today. So the date by default is today. And the persons, if I have some information about the person, maybe the person comes from higher institutions. So I say higher institution. Just say higher institution in general. You just want to get information about that client. What sector? We have already taken higher institutions, so it should be either education. Let's go with service. And so we already have the person's name and the contact, so we may ignore this part. I come out here. How did this client know about us? It was through what? A website or a referral. Somebody referred. So I think somebody referred. Or what's that? So what is the state of the conversation with this client? It can be new leads, which means somebody who has just contacted for the first time or just showing interest. Contacted, maybe the person came and there was a conversation, and so you needed to get back to the person. Or you just discover on a platform that somebody has visited, you want to contact, so you see contacted, engage people into discussion and things like that. Qualified. After discussing with the person said, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm interested in, and after discussion, the person can either qualify for the service you're offering or unqualified. It's very important. And so if somebody is unqualified, it means we don't really have to spend our time again trying to, because if somebody wants to go to primary school, now you have a higher institution, then although the person is seeking education, but the person is not within the confines of what you are offering. So you would not want to spend money, spend time or trying to follow up or assigning it to another person to check. No, you may not want to do that because it will not be useful. So in negotiation, this is when the two of you have come now, the person is qualified for your service, and there is now that front and back between how much should I pay, when should I pay, what are the terms of payment, and things like that. People are still negotiating and try to close a deal. Converted now becomes a customer. This is a paying customer. People have agreed. And at this particular point, you expect that the person should be able to pay. Now, in negotiation might not always lead to convert. So you can lose the client after conversing, discussing, you guys fail to agree on the terms of the deal, you lost the client. So you should also indicate. Now, if I say in negotiation or qualified, I may also want to say what level, if the person is qualified, what is the next step that we need to do to the person? Is it a proposal in negotiation or loss and won? This is just to track again. These two are similar, but is that it help us to track to know what has been done or what needs to be done. So let me say the person we are in negotiation, and the person is looking for maybe admission. Admission. So you write the admission. Level of interest. Very important. We say not interested, slightly interested. Maybe the person qualifies for our service and is moderately interested, which means around 50-50, or very interested around 70 or so. So what is the target income? Now, if it's a student, for instance, and coming for, let's assume BSc, and we say that BSc for us is around, BSc program is 200,000, and this is 3-year program. You may want to calculate the money for the 3 years and say this around 600,000 that we are expecting. It's a potential 600,000 deal. Or you want to go for the first year or be 200,000. So you are anticipating that the lifetime of a customer we can make 600,000. Why is this important? This is important because the value that the customer is bringing in helps us to know the effort we can and even the cost you will need to acquire to achieve that customer. So I'm seeing the potential 600,000 deal. So what is the potential for winning the deal? Since we are still in negotiation, this is a prospect. So let's put it at 80% or anything 70%. Since the person is very interested, between 70% to 80 is acceptable. But if the person is extremely interested, then I think we should be putting around 90%, or from 85 and above is still somehow good. And so You say that 85. So priority. Yes, the person may be highly interested, but not urgent. It's something that will happen 9 months in maybe by 3 months from now. So it might be a medium deal. So we put medium, low, or very high. So if it's something that the person needs it la la, or maybe tomorrow or now, instantly. If it's instantly, we say it's urgent. This is an urgent deal. So you should be able to get to this person without wasting any time. Maybe high, yes, high, but not immediate. So maybe tomorrow is, and so let's say urgent. We'll put urgent. And you go now to who do we assign to? So by the persons you have added in the system, you can assign. Maybe we're assigning to the director of marketing, the dean, the HOD, and things like that to follow up depending on the kind of discussion we're having. So I say we have assigned to when is next appointment? Maybe tomorrow. Let's just take tomorrow. And so there is additional information you may want to, maybe the person was referred, you may want to know who referred it. Maybe it's also important. So any other notes that you want to, yes, discuss admission into the into into accounting program for 2026/2027 academic year, and we um he was seeking a 20% discount for the first year. For the first year. Now, this is very, very important, and the reason is simple. When you assign it to another person, the person was not part of the conversation. How will I know what was discussed? You need to put it there so the person can see. The second thing is that if tomorrow you are not there and we want to follow up this client 6 months, 2 months, 3 months, one week from here, maybe you are not on seat, how do we know? Yes, like today, one of the posts that Solafide team posted was, you should not get confused when somebody leaves the organization. Yes, that's one thing that we are trying to, when we are bringing a system. If somebody leaves the organization should still run. That's why organizations that succeed are built on systems. So there is a system for you to use when you come into the organization. And so at this particular point, is this information has been stored, it will be there for any other person as a safe prospect. You can save and exit, save and you can save, and so we are set. Now, this is important because any other person who has access to this model will see that we have one prospect and attention is urgent and just be assigned to. So we may also need to do other things like follow up. Yeah, they can assign, we have assigned this follow up. The person who wants to follow up can come and see that there's need to follow up. You can click here and always see it. You want that it should form in a card, you can put it in the form of a card and be like this. What's the next action? Maybe I want to make a call. That's the next thing. After you have won this contract, you can now convert this into a claim. So there are steps like that that you have in the system. And with us, we have follow-ups. How many persons are follow up? We have not assigned any follow-up. So if you have assigned follow-ups, we'll see it. We can go back to see other features within the system. Maybe the import, we want to import clients, forecast, dashboard, and things like that. All of them are available for you to go through, to always come back there and we see what is happening. So we check your quick performance, activities, email sent, calls made, time taken, and so on and so forth, referrals received. You can track it in the CRM module. Again, I just wanted to share this because I find this very, very useful for most organizations that are customer centric. They are customer centric. They want to serve customers. They want to give customers an amazing experience. They will want to track their information, or you have a marketing team that goes out. When they go out, they come back, they need to fill this form and make it available so that and fill this, input the data into the system so that anybody can come and pick it up and do whatever is needed to be done within the system. So that said, we now move on to, we have procurement. Procurement handle all purchases, especially purchase for resale. You want to buy and resell. This way you can issue a purchase order. If I come here, I'll be able to issue my purchase order for the goods that are running low. I can issue a bill. And again, the steps are quite simple. You just click and you click, the UI comes up, and you just select the products that you want to order, or you go to maybe inventory, restock if you have been using. As you're clicking, it comes up. You may see, you may want to change the price to something else. If prices have changed in the market, you change and the system will update that. You can do that and save. That's as easy as that. You may want to add tax, you may want to add discount. The system keeps track of everything. If there's withholding, let's say a big organization that has been authorized by the government to do tax withholding, you can also withhold tax at this particular point. So that is the feature for purchase or procurement. We have goods to receive, we have suppliers, bills. Bills as related. Now, if you buy something, you have to pay. So you have to pay using a bill. So that is tracking, and this bill is connected to accounting. Purchase order is just a document that shows what we bought, but bills help us to say that we have paid it, and this is what we paid for. And accounting take note of that. Then we go to expenses. Yes, this is another important part in the system. Expenses, most organizations, if you go to one of our previous videos, we are discussing why organizations may make a lot of sales but still struggle at the end of the period, is because they don't track their expenses. They never really record. There are leakages. There are things that are happening and they are not being tracked. They go, maybe they tend to pay a lot of money for taxation or more than they should, because most of the expenses were not captured when they occurred. So this system gives you room, and by default we have all most of the business expenses are possible, given that the system is based on OHADA. So you have all the business expenses from OHADA chart of account here, like financial provision for risks, depreciation, loss, and things like that, cash discount, loan from financial institutions, paid leave, wages and salaries, gifts and donation, personnel expenses, and things like that. All of that are in the system. You can also create your own. You're not obliged to use what is there by default. So you can create your expense. You say maybe expense internet bill. You can say internet bill, and you create it. Now, this is a kind of setup. Subsequently, you just go to pay, and you are able to select whatever unit of measurement. Let's just say using uh, we are using unit. Oh, let me say we have just say, let me just say set, whatever thing. You can put a unit cost or default cost. You'll be able to use it, or you can choose if you want to select a specific account that relates to. Normally, you should select the account. Yes, there are a good number of them. If you don't find, then you can go to others, which is under here, or other consider as what others as sundry expenses. Sundry expenses, you'll be able to save that and have it. Once you save it, you go now to save to you can save it and create another, or I save it and move on. I've saved to create another, so that's why I'm still in the UI. So again, we go back to our invoice saying here, if I want to make payments, this where payments make the payment. We